Hey everyone, welcome back to Brewbound's ongoing coverage of how the beer industry is responding to the impact of the novel coronavirus disease, COVID-19. My name is Justin Kindle, and I'm the editor of Brewbound, and I am in my new rental house in Medford, Massachusetts. No more 455 square foot studio apartments for me, at least for the foreseeable future. Joining me today via Google Hangout is John Cimperman, the founder of 42 North Brewing Company in East Aurora, New York. John, how are you doing personally, and how are things shaking out for 42 North?
Yeah. So personally, well, good to virtually see you, Justin, and thanks for keeping all of us in the brewing community apprised of the development. So appreciate you doing what you're doing. Personally, doing great. Good news is family safe, friends safe. We're all doing good personally. So thank you. On the business side, we're actually doing better than we expected, and I can walk you through how we got to that point, but 42 North as a brewery and as a brand, we're doing just fine right now.
Well, walk us through that because I'm sure there are a lot of people who are wondering how they can do better than they had expected.
Yeah.
We're 2 months into this thing at this point, so it's interesting to hear where things have sort of settled out for you.
Yeah. So, we're here in Western New York, so we're outside Buffalo, so not in obviously in the city and what's happening in Metro New York. So we're outside of Buffalo. And Justin, I've been taking a look at the state of Ohio, quite frankly, because Ohio closed up before New York and is now starting to come out of it a little quicker than New York. And when Ohio closed down, I believe on March 13th, I knew that New York was going to be next. And we closed down on the 16th as a state, and our drive-through, which we branded 42 Go, we were up and running the Tuesday of that week. So about 24 hours, we pivoted quickly to a drive-through, which really helped. It also helped, I think, condition beer drinkers and conditioned our fans, what options existed. So for us, a quick pivot was critical. And the second thing, as I know the other brewers out there will know, we were very fortunate. We installed our canning line uh, in December, and that canning line was operational in January. So we, are also fortunate to have our own canning line, which we've been putting all of our draft product, obviously, in cans, as well as we've been purchasing beer back from our distributor and putting that in cans. So our distributor was grateful that we were helping clear out their inventory, and we've been, converting that bigger package into smaller package and selling it out the front door with our drive-through, as well as Wegmans, Tops, and a lot of the beverage stores in and around Buffalo. So we've been selling it out our back door to our distributor and out our front door directly to consumers.
So, what have you found so far that has worked for you, and what have you found that
Yeah.
you tried and you kind of had to abandon right away?
Well, we had to abandon crowlers because we, we went through about, I think, 3,000 crowlers in the first couple of weeks of this. So and they're back ordered. So we're out of the crowler business for a while. What has worked is our brew team continues to innovate. And, the month of May, as an example, we're launching a new beer every Saturday of this month. And what that's done is it's encouraged people to come back through the drive-through for new things. So they'll come in for a new release, and while they're there in our drive-through, they'll pick up, three or four of our core beers as well. So that's, I think continuing to innovate and giving people creative options on the to-go has really helped keep our drive-through fresh, right? So we're seeing a lot of the same faces, but they're coming back through, every week or so.
Well, and that was something that's definitely on my mind is being 2 months into this thing, how has the drive-through sort of ebbed and flowed? Did it spike and then come back down? Has it settled out? Has it been
Yeah.
steady? You
It,
know,
yeah, it's been so steady. And I thought the first week, the numbers we saw out of our drive through were going to be kind of the honeymoon period. It's been steady, it's been predictable. And, I think part of it too is we're really fortunate. I mean, anybody out there who knows of East Aurora, New York, but it's kind of like a Mayberry kind of feel vibe to the town. So we've got a strong core of locals. We've got a strong core of people who support local. And I think that's been a big help. And our building is, we've got a great parking lot in front of our brewery, which conveniently makes a great drive-through. So people never have to leave the car. We're really set up for it well, so we're lucky in that regard. And this community, and I'll say Buffalo as well, because we're getting a lot of people who just want to go somewhere are coming down to check out the drive-through and to check out some beers. And they're doing their little brewery tours around Buffalo, but they're doing it in their car.
well, and I don't want to I do want to break the fourth wall. We were talking a little bit before we started recording here, and you mentioned to me that you produced more beer in April than you did in all of 2019. Is that right?
In April of 2019,
Okay.
yeah, so month to month, we produced more beer this April than last April. By the way, same equipment, same personnel, and it's just all been put in smaller packages. And while here's the good news, we did, our sales off premise are up 100% year to year. Great. Our sales on premise are down 100% year to year. And you know, it's great that we're producing beer, we're selling beer, we're keeping people employed. But as it's not as efficient. The smaller the package, the less profitable the product. So while we have sold more beer this year as compared to last, it's all in cans, and we got to make up with more volume to keep those margins.
What are you hearing along the supply chain? Because you mentioned crowlers, which
Yeah.
are in short supply. We're starting to see reports that 12-ounce cans might be in short supply. Are you getting any sort of feeling that that might be the case, or that might be something that's coming down the
Yeah.
pipe?
Um, it keeps me up every night. Every Monday morning in our brewery status meeting, I ask the question: how's our inventory on cans? How's our order? And so far, so good. So far, so good. But that's one of the things that, yeah, if we run out of that aluminum, we're having a whole different conversation.
So where is 42 North at this point? Are you guys at a sustainable point? Are you guys what do you need to sort of keep going in the interim
Yeah.
until things finally do open up a little bit?
I mean, first of all, I think you spoke to. I mean, our state guild has been great. I know you had Paul Leone on a few days back. Paul and his staff have done a great job lobbying for us in the state, and the ability for us to have a drive-through, the ability for us to do carry-out, the ability for us to do mail order. We launched our online store a few weeks back for the state of New York. If we can keep those new opportunities in place, we'll be fine. I mean, we're going to be, you know, this is a sustainable model for us for the next 3 to 6 months for sure. But I got to tell you, like a lot of breweries out there, I didn't get into this business to open up a beverage store, right? So, I got into this business, to help build a community and to have a vibrant tap room. So, it is sustainable for 3 to 6 months, especially with the support of our state guild. But, none of us got into this to be a beverage store or a drive-through. That's not what we were built to do.
Well, and you mentioned community, and one of the things that you've done at 42 North is you've built a pretty diversified business. I think you finished a major expansion project.
Yeah,
I want to say that was finished last September.
it was. Yeah, we opened up September, and that tied into our canning line was up and running a few months later. Yeah.
So you open up that expansion, and that includes, rental lofts. I can't go through all. I can't recall everything that was
Mhm.
there, but clearly you're probably not renting those lofts at this point. The timing of that, 5 6 months, whatever it's been since that time later.
Right,
You know,
right.
now you're kind of sitting on that.
Yeah.
How has that sort of worked out, for you?
No, middle of September of 19, we opened up it's roughly 7,000 square foot expansion, hospitality space, production space. By the way, the new cooler has really come in handy. so, uh, and we have the 4 Airbnb units, and we were sold out from September. We were sold out for a year moving forward on those Airbnb units. We really tried to create this hospitality destination with 42 North, and the plan was working. Uh, Airbnbs were full, our banquet space was full, all shut down, obviously. So, that's been tough because we've canceled some wedding parties, we've canceled some rehearsal dinners, and a lot of those things that make a huge difference in our numbers. So, how are we adjusting to that? We have a really good, we do own our own building. So, we are our own landlord. And so that takes off some of the pressure that we have, for those,
Those conversations are a little easier to have with your
yeah,
landlord if you're it.
yeah, I do talk to myself quite a bit, but no, so that's been fortunate for us. So we don't have that pressure of a landlord, and lease payments. So we're okay there. But that's a huge revenue stream that we are counting on going forward. So I think it's probably going to be, as you and I were chatting earlier, it's probably going to be late summer, at the earliest, that we get back into the hospitality business.
When you do get back into that hospitality business, what's it look like for you? Because it's most likely not going to be the same as it was before. So, how are you preparing for that moment when you get the go ahead from the state that your region is ready to reopen?
Yeah. Uh, First of all, Justin, we're not going to rush into it. I think, while the state may be giving us the green light to open at some point, maybe the middle of June, it really comes down to our customers ready for us to open. And, you know, what we do have, though, is I think you're going to see us evolve. We have a very large outdoor space, a large beer garden. We also, that space opens up into some kind of communal space in the village. So I think you'll see us really focused on our outdoor space to start, uh, and hopefully continue our drive-through and our carry-out business, and then gradually start to let people into the tap room. But again, we're fortunate. We have a pretty big outdoor space. We have a liquor license that allows us to serve outdoors. So I think you see us starting there. And then as people start to get more comfortable, start to then move people into the tap room.
Of those pivots that you've made during this time, what do you plan on keeping?
It's hopefully a lot of the new customers we've met. And I say that is we've had so many people come through the drive-through that didn't drink craft beer before they came here. They just wanted to support local. And and now we're hoping that we've brought them into the craft beer net, that they stay drinking craft beer.
Hmm.
That's number one. Number two is we've also been launching some more approachable, kind of lower ABV beers the last 2 months, because we wanted to bring in the new people into this craft scene. So I think you're going to see us keep a Hellesbach going forward full time. You're going to see us putting more beer in package full time. So I think those are things we're going to keep. Uh, I do hope we can keep shipping beer to within the state, with our online store. So, so there's some, there's going to be some, and this is awful for everybody, guys, but I think there's going to be some positive things that we can learn through this. We are a much more efficient business than we were 2.5, 3 months ago. We've
Hmm.
learned a lot through this, and how to be really efficient, how to be really smart, how to brew the right beers at the right time. So, we're going to be better when we get out of this than when we were when we came into it.
Right on. As far as government assistance goes, the Paycheck Protection Program, I believe you guys were a recipient of that. How are you taking what's your approach to that funding that you've received? Because I've heard some folks are a little wary of using it
Right.
quite yet, just because there's still some I don't know, like it's still unclear like how it's going to play out down the road.
Yeah, yeah. No, there are. And again, when you ask a lot, when you ask bankers and legal, nobody really has all the answers. A, we were fortunate to get it. B, what we first did is when we knew we were awarded that, is we did cut our brew staff kind of all back 1 day a week. So we immediately brought them back to full time, and we've slowly brought some of our tap keepers back. While they're not serving beer right now, they're painting walls, they're polishing floors, they're fixing tables. So we've slowly been able to bring our staff back. Um, it does help us. 25% of those funds can be paid for things like rent and other needs. So, we're not spending the money, Justin, like drunken sailors. we are, we're, slowly bringing people back. And it's not to just bring them back. I want to make sure when they're coming back, they're coming back to a safe environment, but also there's something for them to be doing.
Hmm.
So yeah, we have been using the funds very slowly, very conservatively, and bringing people back, and then also increasing people's hours who needed to cut back, a couple months back.
Before I let you go, what's one piece of advice that you might give somebody else that's in a similar position, something that you've learned through this time that you think that they might be able to apply to their own business to maybe come out on better on the other side of this?
Yeah, and I think a lot of the breweries are doing so many great things, and my advice, is, and again, we're not the only one doing this, so this isn't proprietary. Is really focus on collaboration with the local community. We partnered with local restaurants. We cross promoted their food, our beer. We're working with other breweries in Buffalo to collaborate and to cross promote. So I think that that's just one message I would just reinforce: is we're not in this alone as brewers, and there's other people in our respective communities that want to see us succeed, and they're very supportive. So reach out and look for ways to help their business, and I think in turn they'll help ours.
I think that's a great way to end it. So thank you, John. I appreciate all the time.
Be good, be safe, and look forward to seeing you in person sometime soon.